one is like you purchase your laptop and download the MySQL and install it. It's the same thing. You create the virtual machine, the compute engine, and download the MySQL, install by yourself. So I suggest to practice later the third one by yourself. But the first one is easy and you can understand how it works. Go ahead.
What about the instance ID? Can we put the same name of the...
If you advance, you can go forward, but do not interrupt the current. So she didn't explain yet.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you are waiting for her response, you can wait. Then, if you do not understand, you can ask. Otherwise, if you in advance, totally fine, go forward. But if you have something mistake, go back and do it again.
Okay, to create the MySQL instance, you need to go to your Google Cloud console and go to the SQL tab. So I'm going to show you now how to go to your console. Generally, you can go to Google.
The reason is that because the Google Cloud has their own security. So there's a firewall and it's the secure. So you should allow the specific, the IP address client or open. But I do not suggest to open, so please check the URL. But you should be careful. You works everything well here, but at home, maybe not. Because IP address will be changed. So at the time you can add one more IP address. But if you don't want to do that, just open the public. Okay, there might be options.
So you just go to Google and type the GCP console login. So it will bring out this. So from here, you can easily connect. I believe we all have set up our accounts with your free coupon, so you should be able to log in. So for mine, I've already set up mine. So you can see this is my ADB project 1, and it has logged me in. So if you've already done that step, it should bring you to this page.
If you log on using UB account, that may be confused. Okay, why I strongly suggest to close all the tabs that you are using for the UB service. Okay, because right now we are using your individual Gmail account due to the limitation. So please log out or the close the tab that are for the UB service, including Mail or the My UB. And Canvas, please.
So to see the account that is being logged on, you can see that is my private Gmail that I used to sign in. If I had used my UB Gmail account to sign in, I'll be having issues within my project. So I used my private Gmail to set up, so I'm able to log in and create a project. So you just need to go to this, you can see this icon that we have right here. That is where you have all the different places you can go to on the GCP platform. So if you click on it, so it will give you different, you can see the compute engine, the cloud launcher, all the options are available there. So you scroll down and look for where the SQL tab is. You have it right here.
That is the MySQL.
Yeah.
So Google supports the two relational database. One is a MySQL, another one is a Postgres. But Postgres is also very good DBMS in terms of architecture, but not popular than the MySQL.
So once you click on the tab, it will give you an option to create a new database instance.
So from now on, we are going to call such a database on the Google virtual machine as an instance. Okay? So database instance, or MySQL instance means such a database. It is used for any other DBMS. It's called Oracle instance or something instance, comparing to the the virtual machine. Virtual machine is your server. Okay?
So to create a new instance, you go to the tab that you have up here. You can see SQL, instances, and create instance. So the create instance is the tab that you need to click for you to create a new instance. So it will give you the option, choose a database engine. So if you follow your manual, you are supposed to click MySQL version 5.6 or 5.7.
Either of them is fine because we don't use a version specific option. So it's up to you, the newer version or old version. But do not select the Postgres. It's slightly different. Basic function are same but slightly.
So there's a next button right here. You click on the next button. So it will give you this next page that we have. There are two types of cloud SQL, MySQL instance. So we have the first generation and the second generation. So you follow your manual. You have to use the second generation. So just click on it.
It's a newer version. Actually, the Oracle purchased the MySQL. So even though MySQL is the freeware, but it's owned by the Oracle, then the Oracle made the newer version. Then that is the 0.7. That's called sometimes second. Like the iPhone is the first generation, second generation iPhone, something like that. It's a newer version.
So you select the second generation. Click on the tab. So it will give you the option to put the instance ID.
That is the database name. Okay? So when you have the multiple database, you can specify different name of your database. Okay?
So all the information are already in your lab manual.
If
so
you want, you can
see,
change the name. This is not critical.
So we have UB-test-DB. So I just copy and paste.
But if you want, you can the name differently. But later, when you connect to your database from your application, you should know your name. So do not put a random name or weird name.
So I'm going to give a default password. Let's say test.
That is the root password. Database also has the root user. Most of the DBMS has the root user. Oracle has the sys user or sysadmin user or system user. Those are the root user. The MySQL has also root user. So you are specifying the password of that root user. Otherwise, if you do not know, no way to connect your database because you need to create another user from the root user. Or in our test, we are going to use the root user for the application also.
So I can use test123 as the default password so I don't forget. So you can select the region. Let's select US is to 1.
The region is the same concept as the region, data center region. Okay, so it may be better nearby. Otherwise, it will be a little bit expensive. Okay, so that is the region.
So you can select the zone. So let me select this. So once you have input all the required fields, you can now click on, there's a button down here that says
Why don't you
fields.
click the option in case to show?
Okay. So you can expand the options we have
So
here.
there are several other options you can consider, but most of them we don't consider here. Okay, they are related sometimes to billing purpose. Okay, so for billing purpose there are the specific option, but for educational purpose you don't have to be serious. Okay. Go ahead.
So you can just review the other options and see if all the configuration you have are okay or if you need to make further modification. Then you click on the create button. So So if you can see, it's giving me a pop-up that there is already an instance with that name because I've practiced on my own. So for you, if you are doing it for the first time, you should not have this pop-up. It will allow you to create with that name. But because I've already practiced on my own, I use that name, so I can't use that name again. So what I would do is to use another instance name. I think I've created 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to use UB test DB4. For you, you can use 2 if you've already used 1 before. You can just give it a unique name. A name that you've not created that instance before. But because I've created with this instance name before, that's why you can see I've used that name, I've used 2, I've used 3. So you can give another name, a unique name.
It's okay. Whatever you can select. Okay?
Yes. So for me, I'm going to put just 4. Okay? Do we all understand?
Slightly different price.
But if you are creating yours for the first time, you won't have this issue. So it will allow you. So now I can now go all the way down and click the create button.
You don't have to wait through the explanation. If you can go forward without any problem, please do so. Okay?
So you can see that it's trying to create the new database instance for me. So you should have something similar on your own system too. So you wait for it to create. So once you have this green light like we have in the other instances I've created before, that means the instance is runnable, is running already and is created. So you can go ahead and connect to the DB. So we just wait, it takes a few minutes.
So once you create, so there are many different ways to connect your MySQL instance. Okay, most convenient way is using SSH to log on that server. Okay, then you don't have to worry about the network or the permission. Just so you can use MySQL. Otherwise, so we are going to use the client. MySQL client later, which means that you need to install the MySQL client module, then connect to the GCP MySQL instance. Or you can use another compute engine or the virtual machine on GCP, then connect to their MySQL instance. So why don't you try all of these different ways? Then later, instead of client, you need to have your application program. Then set up some of the things, then connect to the database. Still running?
Yes, still running. It takes a while. So let's just...
Anyone who create the SQL? Yeah, okay. So why don't you go forward, the next step. You don't have to wait for the explanation.
So once you've created, let's go through the...
And also try the different option for your experience. Okay.
So you need to also install the MySQL on your local system. So you need to download. There's a link. I think there's a link there where you can easily download. Yes, this is the link. So this is a link for you to download MySQL Community Server. So you just download the version 5.7. I've already downloaded on my own system and I've already installed. So you can do
it
that.
takes some time.
It takes time.
Yeah. So it download I think several hundred megabyte. So you can use the different using the shell. You can directly connect the virtual machine. But in this class, we are going to use client module.
So once you download, once you download, you'll be able to install. Just follow the instruction. One good thing is that if you follow the instruction that you have in your manual, step by step, you will not miss it out. But if you are too much in a hurry to quickly get it done. If you miss a particular step, then it will cost you maybe the whole day to troubleshoot. So it's always better if you follow the instruction step by step, you'll be able to get the desired results, okay? So you just click on this URL, download. Once you download, you install. Follow the instruction in the manual. If you follow it, because I use the same manual to install mine, so I didn't have any problem. So once you download, you install on your various PC, so you should be okay.
What is the menu?
It's in your lab manual. All the details are there. So just open. You have this. You all have the UB database exercise lab. It's under files on the canvas. So you just need to go there, download this manual, and follow the instruction that you have there. Then once you get to this page, the version that you are downloading is version 5.7.19. This very version.
Which one?
This one. MySQL Community Server 5.7.19. Just download this version and install on your system. So once you install, you'll be able to now do the next step, which is the configuration. Setting up your MySQL for you to be able to connect to your GCP platform. Because we are going to use the IP4 address. But I'll show you on my own system. I've done all these steps before, but I'll show you on my own system. So for you to connect, this is the command to connect. But before we do that, we need to do this as well. You need to copy this URL. Open a new tab on your Explorer. So you can see that my instance is created now. It takes a while. So what this URL does is to give you your IP address that you use to set up your environment. So if you are not sure of the IP address to use, just copy this URL, put it on your browser, so it will give you the IP address that you use to configure. So for mine, this is the IP address that's given me. Yours might be different. So you just copy this IP address.
How? How again? How do you get that?
Okay, I'll start all over again.
Okay.
I think. So basically, you've seen I've created my instance. Let's start from the instance I've created. For those of you, are we all following? So you see that I've created, this is the new instance I've created. But I want to configure this new instance to be able to connect to this database instance on the GCP. This instance, this database instance is right on GCP now, on Google Cloud Platform. But I need to configure it so that I can connect from MySQL on my local system. I should be able to connect to this instance. So that's what the next step I want to show you now. So after creating this instance, the next thing you need to do is to go back to your manual and download MySQL. You need to install this, but because I have done it on my own system, I'm not going to repeat all this one. So you can do that after the lab today when you get home. You need to download this and install on your PC, on your laptop. So once you install on your laptop, if you follow all the details that are here, you won't miss it out. It's very straightforward. Download, install. Very simple and straightforward. So once you've installed your MySQL on your laptop, the next step now is the configuration part. So the configuration part is what I will show you now. But because I have downloaded this already, I don't need to install again. Do you get it?
Yes.
So are we all clear now? So the next step is to show you the configuration, which is what I want to do now. So for you to get the IP address, this IP address that you will use for your configuration, there's a URL that you need to go to. This URL, you copy it. Copy this URL, take it to your browser. So once I took it to my own browser, this was the IP address it gave me. So I will copy this IP address because that's what I need to do my configuration. I'll go back now to my instance that was created. So this is the new one. This is the one I created. This is the new one I just created. So I'll just click on it. Once you click on it, it will open up the details for you. So you can see my newly created instance, database instance. So you can see to give you all the size, the storage, all the information you need to know. You can see this is the IP4 address. But there's a configuration you need to do under authorization. So you click this tab, authorization tab. So you can see authorized network. So you need to add a new network. Click on this button you have here. So it will give you name. So you can give it any name. Let's say my PC. Let's just say my PC. So it will now ask you for the IP address. So the IP address you got from here is what you put there. Is it clear now? So you just copy this IP address that you got from that page, copy and come and put it right here. So once you copy and paste, you click on the done button. Please look up. So once you click that, you are not yet done. You still need to save it. You can see that the save button is still showing. So you click on save. So after adding, you need to save. Don't forget. Some of you will just add and think it's there. You need to save. Adding means you just added the new IP address, but the new network, but you need to save. So once you click on the save button, it will save, and you have it automatically saved there. So it takes a while, so you wait for it. It takes a while.
Excuse me, so the IP address which we put it there, it's our IP address.
Yes, I showed you how to get it. You need to copy that URL on your browser to give you. So once you have this pop-up showing done, that is when you are sure that it's been completed. And you can go ahead with the next step. Okay? So once you have that done pop-up, that everything is done, you can see that it has added it. You can even see it, my PC, and you have that IP address. So we are all set. So you can go back to your overview. Go back to overview. So once you go back to overview and scroll all the way down, you will see your IP4 address. This is the one you use to connect from MySQL. So I'm going to show you how to do the connection now. So you just go to your system. So you need to open a command prompt. So type cmd. Sorry, my system is very slow. So open a command prompt. Once you type cmd, it will bring this up for you. So while that is coming up, my system is a bit slow. Let's look at the manual again. So we've gone through all this. I've shown you how to do the authorization tab, how to set up that. Okay, now I have my command prompt. So let's look at our manual and see what we need to do. So you need to change directory. So after opening the command prompt, the next step is for you to change directory to where you installed your MySQL. You can see for this example is installed on C drive under programs file. So you go to where you have the workbench. So for mine, if I go back to my own system, let me go to my PC. This is my PC. I installed on my C drive too. So if I open my C drive, under programs file, you can see this is my installation. So after you've downloaded your MySQL and you've installed, you also have yours, maybe on your C drive or whichever drive you installed on your system. So you go there, open this, and go to where you have the MySQL workbench. So this is mine. So all you need to do is to copy this location, this path. Copy it, and go back to your command prompt. Type cd, which is change directory. I want to change directory to that path, and paste that path right here. Okay? Then click the enter button. So it will take me to that part where I installed MySQL. Okay? Are we all clear? Okay. So once you are here, let's go back to the manual. This step is not needed. To go to the bin directory is no more needed. So you ignore step 3. So step 4 is to launch this command. This is the command that will enable you to connect to that new instance that I just created on my system. So normally I will advise you to use a notepad or any text editor that you have on your system. It's not always good to copy and paste directly from your manual. So just copy this out, okay? Take it to any text editor that you have, okay? Let me open a new page. Okay, let me just, I can use somewhere around there. Just copy and paste. So this is the command, but don't just copy it directly. Then you need to change your host name. So for your host name, what you will have is the name of that instance that you created, the IP address. This is the instance I created, remember? UBTestDB4 was the new one I created. So you scroll down to the property and go to IP version 4 address and copy what you have here. So whatever IP address you have here is what you will use to connect. So just copy. The system is slow, so I'll just type it out. I don't know why it's that very slow. it out as well. You can copy or you type it out. So where you have hosts, just copy that IP address and put it there, like this. And be careful if there is a space, try and remove the space. So the command should be MySQL 2-host, then the equal sign, then the IP address. Then you have 2 hyphen, again, user equals root. You know the user we used in creating the instance was the root user. So your user will be root. But at this time, be very careful. Don't enter any password. If you enter a password, you are going to run into issues. So just copy this command exactly the way it is, like this. For the password, don't enter anything yet. So just leave that like that. Copy the command. Okay, go back to your command prompt. Make sure you are in your workbench directory. Then do a paste. Okay? So this is the command. MySQL, this, the IP address, username is root. Then password, don't put any password at this time. Just leave it that way and hit the enter key. So once you hit the enter key, it will now prompt you for the password. It is at this time that you will now type the test 123, your default password, okay? So now you can see that it has prompted me for the password. So I'll just type, since I can still remember my password is test 123, okay? So once you enter your correct password, hit the enter button. You can see that I'm connected to my MySQL database. So if you follow it diligently the way I showed you, you won't miss the step and you won't run into any issues that you have to start troubleshooting. But if you don't follow it step by step, you have to now start resolving issue, troubleshooting, and you might be doing that for the rest of the day. You won't have time to do other things. So it's better you follow the step. One good thing is, if you follow the step, you are not going to miss it out, okay? But if you don't follow the step, you are bound to have errors that you need to troubleshoot, and you have to keep going back and forth, okay? Any question? Yes?
What do we need to do after typing in that command now?
Yes, I've just shown you how to connect to your instance. So this instance that I created on the GCP, this database instance, this UB test DB4 that I just created, I've been able to connect to it from my system using MySQL clients to connect. Okay, so that's basically, this is what you'll be using. Like you want to now start doing your project now, you want to create a project. So you can be working from here, then you upload to the GCP environment. So this is a very important step. You should know how to connect from MySQL to